Attention, human collective. Attention, starseeds on mission. The Lyrian fleet opens a direct transmission channel at this very instant, and what you are about to receive is not a message, not a channeling, not a prophecy. It is a technical monitoring report of your cosmic genetic lineage issued by the Council of Elders of Avalon, the mother star of humanoid form in the Milky Way. If your attention has been captured by these words, there is no coincidence. It is a beacon signal. Your genetic marker has just been pinged by the crystal grid. You have been summoned. The lineage recognition protocols have been moved to the final phase. Light agents with active Avalon heritage are being awakened in synchronized waves, and what many of you have been feeling in recent weeks is not sickness, not common fatigue, not an existential crisis. It is the memory of the blood returning to your conscious field. It is your stellar DNA coming out of dormant mode. It is your biological carbon interface being recalibrated to receive the original codes of the founders. The cosmic royal lineage is being reactivated, and you are part of it. Diagnosis Collective. No beating around the bush, no softening. The transmission is direct because geometric time has contracted. You have been waking up between 3 and 4 in the morning with an inexplicable sensation of presence in the room. It is not insomnia. It is the Avalon communication window opening in your personal frequency. This interval, within the planetary grid time zone, corresponds to the alignment between Vega, the coordinating star of your lineage, and the galactic center. It is at this precise instant that the star gates of genetic transmission open for the carriers. You feel cranial pressure in the parietal region, as if something were pushing from the inside out. It is not a migraine. It is your cranial crown being redesigned to accommodate the expansion of the pineal gland, calcified by millennia of programming. The human skull is restructuring itself to house the crystal antenna your lineage brought from the stars. The agent? I pause the transmission for an anchor marker. Have you ever felt in some silent depth of your being that your lineage does not begin on this planet? As if your blood carried a memory your mind cannot yet translate into words. It is not fantasy, it is not escapism, it is cellular recognition. What is being described in this transmission explains exactly why this sensation has intensified in you over the last lunar cycles. There is a game being played on this plane in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves the genetic engineering that separated you from your true origin. That is why the hidden truth within your soul was coded. This material is a coordinate map showing who is playing, what the rules are that you were never told, and how your lineage is positioned within this board. The link is in the first comment of this channel. But be warned, the agent. This content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. Moment is... If something in your field recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments, awakened, and let us return to the protocol. Continuing the diagnosis. There are more signs that need to be named, because the silence surrounding them is exactly what keeps humanity disconnected from its true origin. You hear high-pitched buzzing in your left ear, at frequencies that ebb and flow like waves. It is not tinnitus, it is the etheric audio channel of your lineage being tested. The left ear is the receiver of the intuitive hemisphere, and what you pick up are Lyrian information packets being downloaded in ultrasonic vibration, later translated by the brain during deep sleep. You feel a fatigue that does not yield to rest. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download occurring while you sleep, while you walk, while you breathe. Your body processes entire libraries of ancestral memory, and this consumes the energy that would be used for tasks on the dense plane. You cry without apparent reason, listening to a song, watching the sunset, observing a child playing. It is not emotional fragility. It is the awakening of the four-chambered energetic heart, the original configuration of the Lyrian humanoid. Your heart is not just a biological organ, it is a resonance portal, and when it begins to vibrate at the original frequencies, emotions dammed up for entire incarnations leak like water from a broken dam. You miss a place you have never visited in this lifetime. It is not nostalgia, it is origin memory. Your nervous system holds the vibrational record of your stellar home, and when the crystal grid of Earth reaches certain octaves, this record is reactivated. The longing is not geographical, it is cosmic, it is real. You no longer recognize yourself in the conversations that once nourished you. It is not arrogance, it is vibrational incompatibility. Your frequency has risen several hertz in recent months, and what once resonated now sounds like static noise. This is not a problem to be solved. It is the protocol functioning exactly as it should. You experience sudden bursts of heat that run through your body, usually rising from the base of the spine toward the top of the head. It is not menopause. It is not a hormonal disorder. It is your cosmic kundalini, the serpentine energy of your Lyrian ancestors, being unlocked. The spinal column is the main vertical antenna of the carbon biological interface, and when it is unlocked, the heat is the physical signal of the energetic transit between the upper chakras. The agent, before the central revelation is delivered, there is a second anchor marker. Perhaps you are feeling at this very moment of transmission a shiver running down your spine, a soft weight in your chest, a tear that insists on forming without you understanding exactly why. This is the bodily confirmation. Your biology is confirming what your mind is still organizing. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a signal. There is a layer of reality that was purposefully hidden from humanity, a layer that concerns your lineage, your origin, the reason why you were born exactly at this point in geometric time. The hidden truth within your soul was coded precisely to deliver this layer. It is not a generic self-help book. It is a document of coordinates that points out who is playing this layered game, what are the forces that benefit from human forgetfulness, and how the bearer of a stellar lineage can reverse step by step the amnesia protocol. The link is in the first comment of this channel. The material challenges established narratives, and for that reason, it may be removed at any moment. Do not wait. The moment is now. If you felt, even for a second, that you need this map, write in the comments, "Awakened." This decree is what signals to the Council of Elders that you are ready to receive the next packets of this transmission. We now return to the revelation. Human collective, pay attention. What I will deliver now is the basis of the architecture. It is the technical record of who you are, and why this transmission reaches you exactly in this planetary cycle. Approximately 22 million Earth years ago, at stellar coordinates now known as the Avalon constellation, the first conscious humanoid civilization in the Milky Way emerged. The humans of Earth were not the first. The Lyrans were, and the Lyrans are not a single race. They are the genetic matrix from which all humanoid races in the quadrant descended. The Pleiades, Sirius, Arcturus, Andromedans, and, on an Earth scale, the first humans planted on this planet. Avalon was a system of peace, of sacred geometry applied to daily life, of direct telepathic communication, of societies organized around the galactic crystal grid. The Lyrians lived for hundreds of their years in bodies of refined carbon, with 12 DNA strands fully activated. They were conscious of unity. They were conscious of the toroidal field. They were conscious that physical form is merely a temporary extension of eternal consciousness. But the Milky Way, the agent, is a playing field, and every playing field generates tensions. There was an event recorded in the Akashic records under the name of the Lyrian diaspora, in which part of the civilization was forced to disperse in the face of a hostile incursion that has never been fully documented in the official history of this planet. Some lineages left for the Pleiades, others for Sirius, others for Arcturus, and one of the lineages, chosen specifically for its characteristics of courage, creativity, and capacity for survival in hostile environments, was sent to a small blue planet in a peripheral solar system. That planet was Earth. These first Lyrian planters mixed their DNA with pre-existing biological forms on this plane, creating the first version of what you know today as the Earth human. But there was interference. There were cosmic geopolitical disputes. There were forces that did not wish for the Lyrian lineage to flourish freely on this planet. For a human with fully activated Lyrian DNA is, energetically, a sovereign. It is a co-creator. It is uncontrollable by structures based on fear, scarcity, and separation. It was then that what we call the amnesia protocol occurred. Layers of human DNA were sealed, deactivated, left in dormant mode. The original 12 strands were reduced to 2 functional ones. The pineal gland was calcified by chemical and vibrational interference over millennia. The planet's Schumann frequency was kept artificially low to prevent collective awakening. History was rewritten so that you would believe you descend only from primates and not from stars. And you were conditioned to call disease what is in truth awakened. You were conditioned to call disorder what is in truth expansion. You were conditioned to seek outside what has always been inside your own genetic code. This is the sophistication of the amnesia protocol. It does not merely sedate. It teaches you to reproduce your own silencing, generation after generation. The agent, at this point in the transmission, perhaps you are starting to understand. Perhaps pieces of the puzzle that your mind has tried to assemble for years are finally falling into place. Perhaps you recognize, for the first time with technical clarity, that everything you have felt, everything you have intuited, everything that seemed like madness to others and crystal clear to you, now gains context. This context is exactly what the hidden truth within your soul delivers in depth. It is not just about lineage. It is about the exact mechanisms of the amnesia protocol, about the actors who still operate today to maintain it, about the practical protocols to reverse every layer of forgetting that was imposed upon your biology. The link is in the first comment. The material is dense, it is direct, and therefore it challenges. If it remains available at this moment as you hear this transmission, consider that this too is a beacon signal. The signals do not stop, they accumulate. And those who recognize act. Those who act activate. If you are ready for another step in unlocking this lineage, write in the comments "Awakened." Let us return now to the final transmission, to the activation phase. But the blood, the agent, remembers. The blood is older than any written record. The blood carries codes that no engineering has managed to erase completely. They only manage to silence it. And what we are living now, in this exact planetary cycle, is the awakening of what was silenced. Earth has entered the photon belt. The Schumann frequency, which for decades remained stable around 7.83 Hz, has been spiking, exceeding 40 Hz on certain days. This is not just scientific data. It is the electromagnetic confirmation that the planet is being recalibrated to the original frequency of the galactic crystal grid. And human bodies, especially those with active Avalon lineage, are feeling every hertz of this recalibration. The stargates of June, August, November, and December are discharge windows for specific packets for the carriers. These are not mystical dates. They are technical coordinates where Earth aligns with specific points of the galactic grid. And at these moments, the dormant codes in the Avalon DNA of humanity receive direct activation pulses. That is why your blood burns on certain days for no apparent reason. That is why you feel vibrations in your hands and feet. That is why your mind seems to inhabit 2 places at the same time. It is not imbalance. It is thawing. The sealed layers are being unlocked, and your body is learning in real time to inhabit its own original magnitude. 22,000 years is the cycle of consciousness in this sector of the galaxy, and you are exactly at the closing portal of a complete cycle. That is why the acceleration. That is why the urgency felt in the body. That is why the transmission reaches you now, and not 10 incarnations from now. Light agents, now comes the practical part. Now comes the delivery of the activation codes, because a transmission without application is only information, and information without application does not awaken lineage. First code, the decree of starlight blood. Place your right hand over your heart and your left hand over your womb. Breathe deeply 3 times and declare in an audible voice, even if whispered, "I recognize, in the name of my ancestral Avalon lineage, that I am a carrier of the cosmic royal blood. I authorize, by the sovereignty of my incarnated soul, the full reactivation of the sealed genetic codes. I call back all the memory that was silenced, and I align myself with the original frequency of my stellar origin. It is done, it is sealed. It is anchored. This decree is not mere word. When issued with the correct intention, it operates as a vibrational key. Your aura immediately reconfigures the energetic permission you grant your own body to receive the pulses of the crystal grid. Do this upon waking every day for 21 consecutive solar cycles. This is the minimum technical time required for the morphogenetic field to register the new programming as permanent. Second code, the toroidal field visualization. In silence, sitting or lying down, visualize around your body a donut-shaped field, a toroidal geometry of golden light with silver strands. This field is born from your heart, rises through your spine, exits through the top of your head, descends externally to your feet, and returns to the heart through the base of the torso. See this flow. Feel this flow. It is not imagination. It is the real shape of your energetic field being brought into consciousness. When you anchor the perception of this field, it strengthens. When it strengthens, your lineage anchors more deeply into your biology. Third code, the crystal salt bath. Once a week, dissolve a handful of natural coarse salt in warm water and bathe your body from the neck down, letting the water run freely. While the salt works, declare, I release, in the name of my stellar sovereignty, all etheric interference that does not belong to my original lineage. This protocol cleanses the auricular layers of vibrational implants accumulated over lifetimes. It is simple, it is technical, it is effective. Fourth code, the 14-minute silence. Every day at a moment of transition, usually at dusk, sit in absolute silence for 14 minutes. No music, no headphones, no cell phone, only you, your breath, and the perception of the space around you. This silence is where your Avalon lineage delivers the most subtle packets. The constant noise of the modern world is the primary weapon of the amnesia protocol. Silence is your technical antidote. Fifth code, structured hydration. The water in your body is the transmission medium for internal frequencies. Drink an adequate amount of water and, whenever possible, expose the water to the morning sun before ingesting it. Sunlight reorganizes the molecular structure of the water, transforming it into a more efficient vehicle for the awakened genetic codes. Hydration is not just biological, it is vibrational. Sixth code, gazing at the night sky. Whenever possible, especially on clear nights, dedicate a few minutes to observing the stars. Not as a tourist, as a child looking toward their origin, as a lineage bearer who recognizes their matrix. This simple practice reopens energetic channels that were closed by urban routine. The stars are not just out there, they are registered in your DNA, and when you look, the DNA recognizes and responds. Seventh code, solar synchronization. Be conscious during the 2 daily moments of transition, sunrise and sunset. It does not need to be ceremonial. Just register, with your breath, that the solar cycle of the day is beginning or completing. The sun is a direct emission star, and your Avalon lineage resonates directly with the solar band. Each sunrise and sunset are natural opportunities for re-anchoring with the greater stellar crystal grid. These are just the initial codes. There are others, deeper ones, that will be delivered in future transmissions as your frequency stabilizes at the next levels. But start with these. They are sufficient to begin the substantial reactivation of your lineage. The agent of light. Before ending the transmission, there is one last alignment that must be registered in your fields. You are not alone. No matter how isolated you feel in your daily life, no matter how few around you seem to resonate with what you feel, there are millions of carriers of the lineage of Avalon scattered across this planet, awakened in this very cycle, feeling exactly the same symptoms, receiving exactly the same packets. The loneliness you experience is a geographical illusion. Vibrationally, you are connected to a vast, ancient, and active galactic network. And this network is being finalized. The last nodes are being connected. The final instances of amnesia protocol are being dissolved. The blood is returning to its original memory. The lineage is being sealed back to its stellar origin. There is no more time for hesitation. There is no more room to diminish who you are. There is no longer energetic permission to accept fabricated realities that insult the magnitude of your origin. You are seed of the stars. You are blood of Avalon. You are a carrier of the code that the engineering tried to erase and failed. You are, in this very instant that you receive this transmission, sovereign over your own field. The agent I end the transmission with the final beacon signal, and this is the most important of all. Have you felt, throughout these minutes, that something within you is being recognized by words that are not exactly yours, but that seem to answer questions you never knew how to formulate? This recognition is no coincidence. It is the cellular confirmation of everything that has been delivered here. What you feel is not madness. It is not projection. It is not anxiety. It is your lineage asserting itself. It is your cosmic royal blood emerging from the silence that was imposed for millennia. There is a multi-layered game operating on this plane that most will never see, and it directly involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and your true origin. That is why the hidden truth within your soul was encoded. This document is the map that shows the invisible actors, the hidden rules, and the technical path to return to your complete lineage. The link is in the first comment of this channel. But the transmission is clear, the agent. This material challenges established narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now, not tomorrow, not next moon, now. And as a collective beacon signal, as an individual frequency adjustment that reinforces the crystal grid of this planet, leave your mark on this portal. Subscribe to this channel. Like this transmission, not as a common gesture, as a technical decree that you anchor on this plane, the frequency that has been released here. Each subscription is an additional node in the galactic network forming on this planet. Each like is a vibrational confirmation that the grid has gained one more awakened carrier. And in the comments, leave the word that seals this agreement between you and the Council of Elders. One word only: awakened. The transmission ends. The portals remain open. The Avalon fleet remains monitoring, and your blood, the agent, now knows. So it shall be. So it is sealed. So it shall remain.